Sleep Hacking with London Real, brought to you by Bulletproof. Learn how to hack your sleep.
You've been in it for 11 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear hip hop artists complain about the business. Every artist has their certain complaints about the business, but how is it?
Well, we've kind of seen all the sides of it. We started in 2003, and for the first few years it was so DIY. It was, punk. It was like booking your own shows, making friends with other musical communities up and down the country. You book a show for a band down there, like a gig swap. They book you one up there.
Okay. Like in your local town, you get each other venues.
Yeah, so you just build up your contacts. You're booking it all yourself. I was lucky enough to do music technology at uni, but I only managed a year because the band started taking off. But that helped us be able to record our own music. And then, things like merch, we did that all ourselves. We'd have our t-shirts, and the first printing machine we had was this crappy print. I don't know how we brought ourselves to sell it, but I think people just at that stage, because we were growing, we built up a substantial fan base quite quickly, and just people wanted to wear something, which is amazing and just bewildering for us, the enthusiasm that we were getting. Basically everything we were doing was DIY, and it was only until about maybe after 3 years of literally just maybe 2 years of going just up and down the UK in this little rickety old ex-post office van that mold on the seats, broke down every 2 hours, that type of van. After all that, after we'd done all the sort of groundwork, it was only then that labels started sniffing around and, can we take you out for dinner? Yeah,
Okay.
You guys seem to be doing pretty well for yourselves.
And were you guys suspicious of that initially?
Yeah. We were very lucky to be able to meet a guy who's now a part of our management team, and he was able to sort of guide us, and because of course we were excited. The first label that came sniffing, this is a chance to actually release, have music in a store. Obviously, this was when HMV and independent music stores were still relatively thriving.
Right.
So that was a big thing.
There was no online music at this point.
Well, this was just as MySpace was taking hold,
Okay.
Which is great because that served as this online base. People would see us and then go, I can pick up this cheap CD from the show that we made, but where can I keep in touch with you guys? And MySpace helped in that respect. We were able to sort of navigate our way through, and we ended up just deciding. By that point, we built up enough contacts, and we just started our own label. Released our first album on that. Went really well. We were distributed throughout Europe through independent distributors. And then the second album, we saw the other side of the coin. We decided, you know what, let's take the dive, and we went with a major.
Okay.
And it wasn't as horrible as the horror stories that you hear, but they do have their sort of subtle ways of one of the American dudes sort of would always be saying it when we sent him demos, and he'd be like, "That's great. What about if you take this bit out and just add another chorus, and then maybe take our guitars out of that bit and just keep it sort of fairly simple?" They were just really trying to dull us down.
Okay.
And so immediately we felt very uncomfortable. We obviously didn't listen to a word of what they were saying. So there were things like that, and I guess the whole bureaucracy of it as well. If you want to get something done, you'd have to go so many levels throughout the label just to do, I don't know, a music video, just to get the funds for that. So,
but they were making a significant capital investment in you.
Yeah.
That paid off.
Yeah, well,
investing in what, studio time and tours and.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just give you just a big sort of lump advance. Then you'd use their press people and things like that. And the thing with majors as well, they usually have so many bigger fish to fry. Us just being this sort of alternative band, you do get brushed aside, and it's and as I say, just trying to get anything done, it just takes so much longer. And we're we're a band that's just in the creative process, and we get very fidgety. And if we have an idea, we want to put it out straight away. And so it just didn't work with us. So we went back.
And you signed a one album deal, so you weren't really tied down to that label.
No, yeah.
But so in retrospect, you're glad you did it, so you knew. but then you just decided that you needed to be on your own label?
Yeah, I think it was good to see the other side. But I mean, don't get me wrong. There's like some lovely people working at majors who do have their like heart in the right place. They're enthusiastic about music, but there's, as I say, there's so much bureaucracy involved. It's so much. Everything has to go upstairs to the, the money department of the label to even be planned. So it's
Okay. This week on London Real, we have astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I wake up every morning astonished that an astrophysicist can have 1.7 million Twitter followers. The cosmos is anything where it's a frontier of human knowledge of how the world works. There's so many forces that want to deny a scientific truth just because it conflicts with their ideology. I thought of myself, because I could wrestle, as sort of a defender of geeks. There is no teacher in any time in my life, from kindergarten through 12th grade and beyond, who ever would have said, he'll go far. And the act of finding out is the lesson, not the lesson itself.
On Sunday, London Real presents Neil deGrasse Tyson, Cosmos.
I'm happy to report that there's an appetite for the cosmos out there.